Possibly I will need some help with my future financial planning and craft room organization after this video. But I received a package whose content I absolutely have to use for a card idea today. Hi, this is Luise Heinzl, and I'm more than excited to share not the whole thing, not this personal note, but this package with you, which I received from a really, really lovely person, a crafty person. And perhaps when you see this, which she made for me, then you can already tell who it is. This package has totally blown me out of my socks. Absolutely crazy, because what I expected was some, and that is already really crazy, some of these. And what I got was this. I mean, what? These are, as you perhaps can already tell, some products by Lindy's gang, and these were sent to me by the lovely Nuneka, also called Nunu. Hi Nunu, if you're watching this, thank you so much for this package and the other things next to these. And these I have never used before. And when I came in contact with Nuneka, of course, I will link all of her social media information down below in the description box. She said, Luise, you need to try these out. These are called Magical Shakers by Lindy's gang, and these are the colors by Nuneka. So these are two sets, and they have different colors. And I have never used these before. I have absolutely no idea how, well, not absolutely no idea how to use them, but you know, I have a rough idea. Holy cow, what is this? I'm so sorry. I have a rough idea how to use them because I watched some of Nuneka's videos, but this is the very first time I want to try them out for my cards today. So this is another video of my mini series about making cards with one and the same wet in wet stenciling technique. So here today there can happen everything, yeah. So this is probably going to become a really funny video for you because yeah, I will probably have some problems with these things, but that's the beauty of junk journaling and crafting in general, that you can try out things and that you can play around. And I also think that is a really essential, holy cow, essential, what is the word? Essential. Is that the word I'm trying to say? I don't know. It's important to play around, because when you play around with things, even if you don't have knowledge about the things, I mean, what can happen? Yeah? What can happen? What happened is that she has sent these cool things. I mean, what the heck? I have never seen something like this. These are the cutest little butterflies I've ever seen. And when I opened this package, I was like, what the heck? When the postman brought it to me, I thought, why the heck is this so heavy? Because I expected that she would send these, and you know, why would you need such a big package for both of these? And then I realized that she has sent a whole Happy Mail to me. I will not go into detail about the things in here, but I just wanted to say a really, really huge thank you, because look, I mean, what is this? This is just gorgeous. There's so much cool ephemera in here. Also this braille paper in this craft paper look. I have never seen something like this before, I think. And I love using braille paper. She also made this. And this card it's just cute. I mean, look. This is so cute. So this will go to my shelf there. In here we also have more of these and also some other things. So this is called Flat Magical Shakers in two different colors, obviously. And don't ask me what the difference between this and this is. this sounds a little bit weird because why would you make a video without knowledge about products? But I do that on purpose because I can already see that there must be a difference between these and these because they are named differently. This is called magical shakers and this is called flat magical shakers. So there must be a difference. But instead of learning the theory about these things, I want to try these out. Just, you know, I just want to try them out without watching more videos or going more into detail about these things. Because I think that can cause some really cool things, yeah. And I will definitely have a play with this, with all of this stuff. Yeah, I'm totally in love. I'm totally in love. So thank you so much, Nunu. She also has sent these. These are embossing powders, and at first glance you can tell that these are somehow different to what I normally use. This is really crazy. I don't know if I will use these in the video today because I think I will get pretty overwhelmed with the rest, but we will see. So these are the colors of the Boho Dreams set, and what I already really like about these are the names. So where is the name here? So this is, for example, is called Mystic Crystal Teal. I mean, how cool is that? In Dusty Dreamcatcher Gray. What? These names are so cool. Sandalwood Scents. I mean, when you read that, you think it must smell like something that is so cool. I mean, you know that how much I love the Ranger products, and one reason why I love them is the names of the colors. I really like that when products which are on our craft desks have special names, because the identification with those products is then, in my opinion, higher, and with that we feel the whole thing more. And I think it's with these, it's just the same with these, because of only because of the names. Yeah, I think that is a really cool phenomenon. This is also called Magical Shaker Set, and this is called Gypsy Vibes. And you can also find a video on Nuneka's channel where she swatches these. So she did a live stream. Yeah, well, when this video comes out, it's already a little bit longer ago, but I will link her YouTube channel down below so that you can check out that video, because, you know, that is cool, because there you can see all of the colors swatched. Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to mix up the colors of the sets because I'm assuming that it's a good idea to take colors from the one set in combination with each other, and then colors from the other set in combination with each other, because I have no idea what color combination I can use and which makes sense, because I have never used these things before. So then another really dangerous component of this thing here is now that I want to use two pastes where I again have absolutely no idea if they will work together and if they will work with these magical shaker thingies. In the last video of this series, we have used the Crackle Paste Opaque already. I want to do that again because I loved the effect from the other video so much. But this time I want to combine that with this texture paste, which is the Metallic White by Ranger. This is by Ranger as well. And I have this pretty new in my stash. I've used it for some projects already, but I'm not so familiar to this paste yet. That makes it perhaps a little bit dangerous, but we will see. I need a spatula. I'm really well prepared today. So then we are going to take some watercolor paper, and I have chosen this big piece here because I want to first play around on this bigger piece, and then later on I want to cut that into smaller pieces and piece that back together to make the card, hopefully. So then, For our stenciling technique, I've chosen these stencils here. I have already explained in the other videos and also in this, like the first initial video where I found out this wet in wet stenciling technique, the things more in detail. So I will also link again a video for you in the description box, which was from last December, where I found out this wet in wet stenciling technique during EPHEMERA, which is a series hosted by my friend Barbara at 49 Dragonflies and myself. And there, for one of the prompts we did there, I found out this technique. But I want to quickly say something about the stencils. You need to choose the features of the stencils if you want to craft along with me here now, and perhaps you haven't seen the other video yet. So the first stencil which we are going to use needs to have a ton of open spaces. Use a stencil for the first layering of the stenciling which has like a really solid and big pattern, and where the open spaces are way more than the rest, so than the closed spaces, if you can say it like that. And for the second stencil, choose something which has delicate details and where it's the opposite, like here, meaning the closed spaces are more than the open spaces. Like for example this. This stencil here has the number THS 178 by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. And this has the number THS 026, also by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. We are going to start with this, and in the last video we have found out that we really liked when the crackle paste is the first layer of the stenciling. I did some, reflection about that from the last video, and I am convinced that I like it better when the crackle paste is the first layer. But please play around, and if you have never done it before, try, the other way around as well. And then you will immediately see what you like better. So I'm going to apply this here through the stencil. Not too thick, but also not super thin. Because when we use crackle paste too thin, it can happen that it doesn't crackle. And that you just get, a white pattern on your paper, and that's not what we want. We want this to be medium thick. So then for the other cards I used the Distress Mediums, spray stains and oxide sprays, and I want to try this technique with the Lindy's Gang mediums in exactly the same way. So that means if I want to follow my own technique, I'm so sorry, I need to throw this into water, but I can't reach this basket. Yeah, I'm back. So I want to do the same thing now, like on the other cards, meaning on the other cards I've now used spray stain. So we need to use the things here now. But how to choose the colors, I have no idea. Let's perhaps start with this one, because this is obviously some kind of green. So is here a protection thing, or can I just open it like so? I have no idea, but what I can see is, and that is something I already knew, that here are some holes so that you can throw it on here. And first I want to throw this on here. I have no idea how much I need to use. And what I've already learned is that you can, is that enough already? I don't know. That you can sprinkle it on first and then add water, or the other way around. So let's try this. Ooh, holy moly. How much water do I need? I have no idea. Well, that's probably depending on how much I want it to flow. Wow. I mean, what the heck? Okay, I want more. And you can see here are these cool tiny bits of other colors in there. I find that so fascinating because that's a surprise. I mean, I love surprises. Okay, so let's add more water. This is really risky because I have no idea how the crackle paste will react. But let's add another color. This is Dusty Dreamcatcher Gray. Ooh! Oh, that is very secure. Oh, that's something I already really like, that you don't have to open this completely to remove a protection paper or so. You know, when you buy, for example, herbs or so in the supermarket, then you often have these little protection thingies and they really wreck my nerves because in the most cases the herbs are on my kitchen counter instead of in the jar. Ooh. Okay. This gray is really cool. I will here first add the water and then use this color again to see how it looks when this blue is not there. Oh, this is, holy moly. This is really interesting. Ooh, stay here. Let's then try out the sandalwood scents. Hopefully, oh, hopefully I say these names right. Oh, whoo! Oh no. Be careful, Luise. Just look to the jar, then you can just open it without any problems, like this. And it might be, yeah, I'm sure that this is now reacting differently than it would react just on paper. I mean, but that should be clear because we have the paste here and not just the paper, and that must be a difference. But this is really cool. Okay, let's add water here as well. And let's then try these. Perhaps these go well together. I mean, Dream Desert Rose. And I'm really wondering what will happen when I press the other stencil in there in a second and do the second you know, round of stenciling. What will then happen with these different colors here? That could be really, really interesting. So this is now, how is this said in English? In German it's Wanderlust, but I don't know if that's the same in English. Wisteria? I don't know. I'm so sorry if I say these names wrong. This is also, these little jars are also like a little special English dictionary for me because, you know, I'm always trying to learn new words, but sometimes not so easy. Oh, ooh, oh, okay. This surprises me a lot. I really like this. Okay, so then what do we need to do next? Here's a ton of water now because of, you know, letting these run around. So let's try this and let's put this over here. So that's now the second part of my technique. Everything is still wet. Obviously the crackle paste hasn't dried yet. That's not possible in this short time. And we have added water, which influences the crackling and the reaction of the paste. We already learned that in the last video. So then I'm going to take texture paste metallic white. And to be honest, I've also never tried the combination of both of these stencils before, though, so that's new to me as well, how it will look design-wise. But the paste looks like this, really shiny, and I thought that could fit well to these powders. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now I need to make sure that I don't press too hard, because I can already tell that I need to mix this around now for a while so that the paste and the water can get one. Please make sure when you do this, and you know, when you try out different pastes or so, that you be aware of this problem, that when you go over this with your palette knife, that it could slip around. Yeah, when you go over this, you can immediately feel that. Can you see this here? Well, let me zoom in a little bit. I'm so sorry. Need to put this a little bit like so, then you can perhaps see it better. When I take the spatula for the first time and I go over this here, can you see how it's like slipping away? We don't want these water puddles. We need to mix this. Well, you can experiment, of course, but this is what I found out, that we need to mix this on here so that the water and the paste get mixed, and then we get also a cool color, because you can see that the metallic paste now gets stained. But I want a really equal look of the paste before I lift the stencil up. Otherwise, I'm assuming that the paste dries weird, or that it could fall off later or so, because, you know, when there's water and paste, that could cause some problems. So let me zoom out again. And then, I will lift a little bit off so that it's not too thick on here. And this, let's just put that here, and let's be amazed. I mean, what the heck? This has now such a wonderful light blue, and at the same, wait, I will do that here on the side. At the same time, it has this metallic of the metallic paste. I mean, what the heck, this is amazing. And we can, of course, use this for making other backgrounds or so. So I will put that aside to dry. Wait, shall we? Yes. I will add, what will I add? A little bit of this again, sandalwood scents, before I lift the stencil off. And now I have absolutely no idea, because what will happen, because this is obviously a dry medium. And when I did the technique with the spray stains, I had no problem with wet or dry, because when I spritz spray stain over here, well, I have my solution already. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Sometimes I need to speak the things out to find the solution, because when I used spray stain, we had puddles here, and I went over it with my spatula again to mix that, and that's obviously possible here as well. I don't need more water, because I just thought, yeah, look, that's possible. Oh my goodness, that is cool. I just thought, if I now spritz water on here again, that could cause some more problems. But we can also do it like this, but then the effect is not so nice. Let's use water. What am I doing here? I'm so sorry. Hopefully I'm not confusing you. But look, now it's activated, and then it's obviously way more intense. But perhaps it's also not such a problem when the water is on the paste. Let's just try it and see what happens, because, I mean, the worst thing could be that we get a total fail, but then we know what not to do in the future. So let's lift this off. Oh my goodness. Holy moly Guacamole. Okay. And do you know what? Since we already have a reference for the metallic paste here, why don't we use something else on here? That is perhaps a good idea. Let's perhaps use here some regular texture paste. Why not? So this is the texture paste opaque. Oh, do I have? Yes, I have a little bit left in here. I will take this out with my finger. That's my little personal trick. I don't know if you do that as well. When a jar is getting nearly empty, then I do it like this, because with the spatula it's really hard to get the rest out from there. But with your finger, you can see, you can get all of this stuff out really easily. And yes, here's now a little bit of the metallic paste left, but who cares? And we will probably also get a little bit of the blue from here to there, because it's on the back of the stencil. Really hard to tell which color to throw on here now. Shall we perhaps take one from the other set? Perhaps something. Ooh, let's perhaps take this. This is, you know, from these two extra ones she has sent. Bring the house brown, because this is darker, and I'm wondering if that is cool as well. Because here we had the lighter color on top, so let's use this brown here. Ooh, that looks, ooh. Oh. This is probably pretty intense. So let's add some water here as well. Ooh, and it has, oh my goodness, it has even some red. Oh, that would fit here really well as well, I guess. And it has orange, blue. Can you see all of these colors? I mean, what the heck? This is magic. I mean, it has a reason why they are called like they are called. Yeah, but if I now go over this with the spatula, then I would mix them all up. I mean, these different components. I will try something. I will try to lift this off. Holy cow, what is that? Oh my goodness. I will give you a closer look in a second. I mean, if this dries like it is here, then I will freak out. I mean, in a positive way. This is just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Look. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to see this when it's dry. And what we also can try is, we can try to only add color without a second time of stenciling. Let's try that. That is perhaps good for this pattern. Let's go really wild and take this again. Because that is what I learned when I have something like this, where I think, okay, my choice for the stencils was not so extremely perfect, because I can hardly see the first pattern. Yeah, then I can do this trick. Just throw on something without paste, add water, or if you use spray stain, you know, then you don't need water. No paste, spatula, and just carefully go over this. With the spray stain it works. What will happen here now, I have no idea. this rubs over the stencil now, obviously. And with that, we will hopefully get an impression of the Gothic stencil here to the other one, without covering everything up. Yeah, and that worked just perfectly. It's not so visible yet because of all of the liquid here, but it worked. You can see, when I lift this up carefully, that we have those fragments here, and the pattern of these little rectangles is also still there. You can't see it so well because the liquid is on there, but I'm assuming when this is dry, it will look really, really cool. But this here in the middle absolutely blows my mind. Okay, so then when we have that, we are going to need to let this dry. This will take forever. I will make a coffee for you. It's just a second when I will be back, but I can't wait. I just can't wait. Oh, I hate waiting. I really hate waiting. I had lunch. I had a little massage from my massage machine. And I had a coffee. I had a little snack, you know. But it's still not completely dry. But the good thing about the Ranger texture pastes is that you can take the paper and, you know, help the paper a little bit to get flat, even if this is not 100% dry yet, or especially when it's not 100% dry yet, do that, what I'm doing here right now, because then it's easier to get it a little bit flat again. But of course, paper, water, a lot of water, you know, then we have something like this. But I think this is totally okay, because when we later use this for making cards, we can just use some double-sided tape and a backing, stick this to the backing, and then it's flat again. But look, do you know what I'm the most surprised about? I will tell you. You can see that the best here. Perhaps you remember how this looked when it was wet. Perhaps if you can't remember, then, you know, skip back a few seconds and take a look at the wet piece. And then come back to this portion of the video. This looks nearly like it looked when it was wet. And that is fascinating to me, because obviously this medium hasn't soaked into the paste so much, like, for example, a spray stain would do. And that is really good to know, because then we also know that we can get these white areas here, which we got from lifting the stencil off, and with that a little bit of the crackle paste was lifted off as well. Here you can see it the most clearly, because here it's the highest contrast. That happened here as well, but we can't see it here so well because of the contrast, which is not so much like here. The crackle paste didn't do such a great job like in the last video, but we still have some crackling here. It's really, really hard to see. What I then want to try is, I want to take another sheet of this watercolor paper, because what I also want to try is to apply the pastes first, let those dry, and then add these powders and water. Because what I want to know is, can we perhaps get more crackling when we have less water in this whole procedure? This stencil is THS056 and this one is 076, and I want to do the same thing. Holy moly, guacamole. Don't put those things. What do I need to do? Where is my crackle paste? I'm so sorry. I accidentally had a half jar of dried crackle paste on my desk because I forgot that the other day, I mean to close it, and then it accidentally dried. And why is that still here on the desk? I have no idea. So let's try this whole thing again. Here, I think I will do it a little more randomly. I'm going to take the metallic paste now, and I'm trying to avoid to get this straight edge there from the pattern. I mean from the end of the stencil. That looks also really cool. There where where no metallic paste is, we get this impression from the stencil. Can we do that on purpose? Somehow I can't put this back into the jar. I need to be very careful now because, you know, could have already mixed up. But I don't want to waste this, obviously. Ah, can someone please give me another stencil? And then I can also try it here. Here is now the paste, and then let's just try to press the pattern of this stencil into the other one. Oh, okay. That is also something, another reason why we should do the things more than once. Here's just the tiniest little bit of the paste left on my spatula. Can you see? Just the tiniest little bit. But how freaking cool does that look now? That way we can see the first pattern way better. Look. Obviously, oh my goodness, obviously the trick is to add not so much paste in the second step. Look here, there happened the same thing. We can see where the paste is, but both of these patterns go into each other like nearly seamlessly. Why the heck haven't I thought about that before? Because look, compare it here with this area where I have way more of the paste, and here this pattern got nearly covered up completely. And that is also, oh my goodness, that is also probably because this is completely the wrong stencil. Oh my goodness, I made a mistake. Yeah. Do you remember what I told you in the beginning? This is completely the wrong stencil. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I had chosen this because of this delicate pattern, but my eyes did see this in the opposite way. Because here, obviously, the open spaces are way more than the closed spaces, and that is completely against my advice in the beginning of the video, how to choose the stencils. But yeah, well, it is what it is. This is like an experimental video. I'm really sorry. But here you can see what happens when you choose, like, you know, the wrong stencil, because we cover everything up, which we did before. That is not good, Luise. That is definitely not good. So what are we going to do? We take this, and I will just throw the rest of the medium on here to clean the stencil and not waste the rest of this paste. It's not a lot, but it's still a nice texture we can get here. And then we will throw this not only into water, but also out of the way. Oh no. And then we are going to choose another stencil which makes more sense here. And the interesting thing is, I mean, look, the interesting thing is this stencil here is also one where the open spaces are more than the rest. And here we can clearly see it. Why? Because we have used nearly no texture paste. I mean the metallic paste. That is now something which is really interesting, I think. And I also want to take the texture paste opaque. This was the metallic one, and oh no. Patience is not my greatest skill. Holy cow. Oh no! What a daydream. Oh no! No! Ranger, what did you do? You have... Oh no, you have... What? Why? I mean, how? Oh no, they have accident. Oh no! They have... Oh no! This is a catastrophe. My brain can't handle this. Oh my goodness. They have accidentally, obviously... Oh no. This plastic came under this sticker. Probably when this was in the machine to fill it up. Can you see? Oh no. Ah, this is a new jar. Oh no. Now I have a... Oh no. Okay. Keep calm, Luise. Keep calm. Let's instead enjoy this side. And then... Oh my goodness. Let's do this, okay? So what have we learned? We don't need this much. We need just a little bit. Just like this, perhaps. So then. What am I doing here? I just wanted to say something really nice about Nuneka and myself. That also sounds like a funny joke, but it really isn't. There was a situation the other day where someone who, well, obviously knows us from social media, it's a little bit complicated to explain. Well, we have been, Nuneka and myself, we have been in a live stream, a music live stream. And if you have seen the other videos, you can tell which stream it was. It was a stream by Daniel Evans. And we were there, both. And then, suddenly, I can't handle this. I'm so sorry. I can't handle this, but this is absolutely amazing. So, when I was in the stream, before she knew Daniel, he called me Lulu because of, you know, Luise became Lulu. And when she then came into the stream, and I was there as well, but that was on another day, he suddenly called her Nunu. I think she had this name on her own streams before. He said that to her, but he couldn't know that, obviously. But since then, I said, okay, this is now very clear, because it needs to be Nunu and Lulu. And then suddenly, when he said that, like fast after each other, those names, he said, oh, that's a great team, Nunu and Lulu. And we were both so shocked in a really, really positive way when he said that, because obviously we were independently thinking about somehow a collaboration or so, because what Nunu has written in her little letter to me was really, really heartwarming. So if you, by coincidence, see this, thank you so, so much for what you have written there. I mean, I have already obviously told her that in a private message as well, but that has really touched my heart. And this, yeah, happenstance, because I don't believe in coincidences, brings me to the wish that I want to do a little collaboration, or perhaps a bigger collaboration with you, Lulu. And we already thought about some things, and well, when you see this video, it's a little later in the year than it is for me now, but I'm pretty sure that there will come something with the both of us. I can't tell you what it will be, but I have the feeling that it will be really, really much fun. And I agree to Daniel, even if I don't have made the experience yet, but I think we are really a great team, not only because of the names, but also because I think we really have a similar humor, and we love to experiment, and she's just such a great teacher with things. I'm absolutely in awe with the things she's doing, and I think that could be a really nice, you know, combination also. Yeah. That being said, we need to let this masterpiece dry now. And what I'm really hoping is that the crackle paste now really crackles. Because, I mean, why shouldn't it crackle? We have added no water, nothing else here, so it should crackle now. Yeah, let's wait for that. And let's then add some of the colors from the other set of the magical shaker thingies. This worked just perfectly. Look, it has crackled here where the crackle paste is like free, but also here in between of the other pattern, or patterns, it's more than one. So now let's take the second set, and let's perhaps start this one here. Now I want water on here first. And obviously you could also cut this into pieces first if you want to make several cards from this one sheet. And I thought about that before, you know, I filmed this portion of the video, but I think it can be also very interesting to do it like this, not knowing what you will get at this stage, and then later on cut it like, you know, like you, for example, would cut a masterboard, and then you get a really unique piece as well. And obviously the more water you spritz, and that's what I wanted to try out here as well, the more this will get one solid color. And look, here it has already happened. We have this solid greenish color here. This looks a little bit like evergreen bow. And here we have still the single components which are in that one color, and that is so fascinating. Oh my goodness, this yellow there. That is absolutely cool. That is amazing. I will dry this. So I will now, you know, throw more water on here and just look how the other colors look. Shall we go really crazy with this red? I have seen that in her video. This is called Rosewood Rouge, and my goodness. This is so black in it as well. She has shown that in the video. It has black, even if it's red. I'm so sorry. The name reminded me to something funny which I heard the other day. Oh, my nerves are wrecked. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Okay. So I will play around with the other colors here. I guess I don't want to let this go into each other too much. Ooh. What? Oh my goodness, what? I take back what I just said. Have you, oh my goodness, hopefully you have seen that now. I don't know, I couldn't look to what you see, to my, you know, to my iPad where this gets mirrored from my phone. But have you seen what happened here with the colors? I mean, look, it doesn't look weird when these colors touch each other or get mixed. Why? Why is that? Oh my goodness. As I said in the beginning of this video, I really think that I will get into some financial trouble after this video because, oh my goodness, because I need more of these. I mean, with those she has sent me, you can already do a lot, but you know me. If I have something which has to do with colors, I need them all. How many are existing? Oh my goodness. Send help, please send help. I'm lost. Oh. And perhaps I should also find a time machine or so, because if I would spend as much time as this would need, you know, for finding everything out immediately, then I would get into really, really much trouble with the other things I have to do. Oh, be careful, Luise, just be careful. This is called flickering fairy lights. Okay, that was probably not such a good idea to put that next to this intense red, but sorry, I don't have any idea what I'm doing here, but can you see, I mean, this, well, perhaps I should take that back as well, because if you think about this portion here, then it could be just the perfect match. But if we look at the whole thing, you know, then this is probably too much red in combination with that color there. So what else do we have? A vintage caravan caramel. Oh, that reminds me, the name of the color reminds me to my time in Austria when I was in the caravan. Oh yes, oh, that is, oh, this is this color where I was so surprised when she has shown that in the live stream. Oh my goodness, look. Ah, that's good that it is here where the flower is. And what happens, I mean, besides the fact that this is absolutely amazing, what happens if I take a paintbrush now? Because that is then probably easier to, oh yes, look, to get this solid color. Hopefully that's the correct English word for this, because then you can mix these easier. You know, when you only spray water, then you need a ton of water until it mixes completely. Here it happened, but you know, here are still some of these. Here it happened the most. Do you remember when we made this? But with a paintbrush, you can do it like this, and then these little pigments are mixing. And I'm just thinking, what will happen if I take this paper and just blindly cut that into squares / rectangles, and then just use that, or those pieces I will then get, to glue them to a card base. And then all of a sudden we have a little art gallery. This would make a whole journal if we would use these as pages. How cool is that? Excuse me, but what? What is this? Look, I mean, what is this? I have just, I mean, I'm shocked. I think I have never made so many cards in such a short time, and I am absolutely in love with how these came out. I did nothing else than inking the edges of these fragments here with Scotch Timber Distress ink. Then I have taken some double-sided tape. Here you can see the rest of it, just, you know, a really wide strip. I've put them all on these cards, and then I have sewn around with my sewing machine. And then I have just taken some quotes from a stamp set. I will show you in a second which one it is. And this just amazes me so much. What is that? I mean, you could obviously do way more with these, but I like them exactly like they are. And the stamp set is this one, Noteworthy CMS 446 by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. And what I also thought was to make these, yeah, these are just some simple postcards, yeah, to make them look a little more interesting and somehow also more handmade. You could take either your scissors or, you know, these distress tools. This is just amazing. And what I also could imagine is taking this, and do I have something brown? Yeah, we have this braided paper from Nuneka here, so we can take that. Imagine to take this and put that on another layer of paper. So here I am back. So from Nuneka's package we have this fluff. I also have this fluff here, which I bought recently because I thought fluff is always a great idea. Then I have some moths and butterflies, and also these fabric butterflies. So let's see. And perhaps in here there's also some other stuff which we could use. I will put something heavy on here so that it can dry properly. And I also like that you have to do it like this to be able to read this here. That is really cool. I have decided to leave some of them just, yeah, I can't say blank because they are not really blank, but, you know, with only the pattern here. Because that way I can put them into my stash, and then when I want, ooh, that is good. Oh, when I want to send them to someone, I can decide for a focal point in that moment instead of feeling the need to do that now. And that way I can also perhaps put something totally different on there. Of course, other things would also work, not only butterflies and moths and these little things, but perhaps also some paper dolls or so, or something which would fit the reason why I sent the card. And that way this whole thing stays a little more flexible and versatile. So that's it for today. I hope you like this, and yeah, please let me know what you think about this. And if you want to try something like this by yourself, there's one video left in this little series which is coming very soon, and where we again will make some more cards with this wet and wet stenciling technique. So if you want to see that, stay tuned and have a very great and creative day. Bye bye.